Hello, guys. Welcome back, and here's our podcast. And we're going to be breaking down some topics. We have 8 categories here, and just 2 minutes to try to break them down in the best way possible. So let's get started. Baez, Bryant, and Rizzo. Timer's starting. So I personally think that Bryant, I think he's going to the Mariners. The Mariners need a third baseman, and Kyle Seager's a free agent. So I think they need a third baseman. So that's my take on Bryant.
Yeah, I mean, with Bryant, I think you might be right about the Mariners, but also in terms of his performance, I don't know whether I have a feeling that he might be improving a little, like going down a little bit. Because as we know, he hasn't been as good as he has been in his career lately because elevated fastballs have become more of like the standard for pitching, which is like huge now. And we all know that Bryant is huge at taking those low pitches and taking them deep. And now that elevated fastballs are becoming more like used, Bryant is really starting to. Yeah, I feel like it's a downhill from here.
I agree. But, yeah, I think Giants could use him again, but I think Mariners.
Yeah.
And then Baez to the Tigers, I say. Rebuilding team.
Tigers, really?
Yeah, rebuilding team. They're wanting him.
Yeah. Did the Mets sign him? No, they must have not.
No, they didn't. And Rizzo, I think any of these guys could also go back to the Cubs. We'll get to the Cubs in a minute because they could rebuild.
I mean, yeah,
I see Rizzo staying with the Yankees. I feel like the Yankees just got him.
The Yankees have not spent like too much money lately. Like they always spend a lot of money, but they don't spend as much money.
The Yankees have a consistent, like in the past, they spend a lot of money for guys that are kind of overrated. They go big or they go home. Like Stanton, Garrett Cole, they are both huge money guys. And Baez is gonna be a bust for wherever he goes. I think the Tigers, as a rebuilding team, he would be great in a rebuilding team, I think.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And that's
true,
short,
but
last comments.
I think the Mets may try to start to rebuild after the season, because as we know, this was a complete
Time's up.
Oh, my God.
Man.
All right. So now if we move on, our next category, Clayton Kershaw.
I mean, I think it's I've heard a lot of stuff about this, but I think he's going to the Rangers, unless if he doesn't accept the Dodgers offer.
The Rangers can't really afford him for that.
The Rangers can absolutely afford him. I disagree. However, the Rangers can afford him, but the Dodgers can afford him.
Well, yeah, because the Rangers can shot rid of Joe.
Yeah, I think he's either going Rangers or Dodgers.
Yeah, the Rangers have a lot of money, and they're a rebuilding team. The Rangers are going to put a fair bit into it. However,
but I feel like if they're going to sign Clayton Kershaw, then they can't really sign that many other top prospects.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good point. Also, I think, personally, he's going to the Dodgers, and if he doesn't go to the Dodgers, there's also a chance he retires, because I don't know if he... I
honestly don't think he'll go to the Dodgers. I'm not sure if it's positive, but the Dodgers have been known for, now that they have, like, some good, like... They're basically the Yankees' money, but with smart general management, pretty much.
Yep, that's true.
Smart getting players. And the Dodgers know that Clayton Kershaw's prime is way over. He's still a good pitcher, but he's way, like, he's never going to be as good as he once was.
Yeah.
And it's complete downhill from here, like I kind of said about Bryant.
I think the Dodgers.
And the Dodgers, I feel like it wouldn't be that smart to keep him. Like, I feel like maybe they could go for somebody else.
The Dodgers would be mad to see him anywhere else. It would be like Albert Pujols going. The Cardinals are furious.
Yeah, but the Dodgers, they've got priorities. You know, they got to prioritize some stuff, and their main priority here is really winning.
Yeah.
And I feel like that wouldn't be a smart move for them. Maybe they could go for another pitching prospect.
I think so, but I think the Rangers would also be a good home for him. I agree on that. The Rangers are a good home, but I think the Dodgers are going to do everything they possibly can to take Kershaw, and I think they can do it.
I mean,
I don't think they're going to necessarily do everything they possibly can, but like I think
and time's up. Time's up. All right. And now next up, the St. Louis Cardinals what's going to happen with them. And this is very interesting.
I
We're going to let one of the other
think
two,
it's up
some people who haven't talked as much, start this off.
I think Cole should.
All right, well, let's think about the Cardinals, right? So they just won 5 Gold Gloves this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they really don't need to be looking for, they don't need to be looking for any, outstanding defenders at all.
Yeah.
And their hitting is decent, but they just need to work on their, starting pitching rotation and staying healthy. Staying healthy killed their
That's
starting
true.
pitchers.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, injury. It's kind of like the Mets at the beginning of the year. They have so much potential. They actually have a solid amount of depth. But if they keep getting injured, then they're just gonna have a worse version of the team that they put out there on their best day.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think
And we
the
showed
other
that
thing
this season from
is what is Gorman
the
going
win
to do?
streak compared to bad parts of the season.
Yeah, what is Gorman going to do? What is Liberatore going to do? These guys, that is going to make a huge difference. These two prospects is going to they're going to make a huge difference.
I don't think they're going to start them necessarily. They may be bench players, but I don't think they're going to be in the starting rotation.
I think they need a closer. Alex Reyes, Jordan Hicks, they're too up and down. Mark Melancon, Rachel Iglesias, both are free agents. Ryan Tepper, they should, all three of those guys, good relievers, and Corey Knebel, all of those guys, good relievers. And the Cardinals,
I honestly don't really think that the Cardinals are going to go for those guys because that's not necessarily what they're looking for. But I think that it would
as
be
for
a
starting
good
pitching, DeSclafani, Stroman, Nick Williams, these are all three guys they've been really.
I feel like
and Scherzer recently said he's willing to take an offer from St. Louis.
They could definitely get a lot of value for people like Reyes and Hicks.
And they actually just put their name into the conversation for Steven Matz, and they're interested in Castillo or Gray. I think Keuchel. Time running short, and time's up.
Yeah,
time's up. Now moving on, will the Twins and Cubs rebuild?
Twins and Cubs.
Right.
I don't necessarily know about the Cubs because they got Nick Madrigal from that Craig Kimbrell trade.
And they got Corey Hewer, and they're going to put in attempts to get Rizzo and Baez and Bryant back. They
but why would you trade some guys? The point of trading them was to get some prospects, and
they didn't get much though.
It also gave them a bunch of money. And now that they have that, why would you just try to get it like that?
To be honest, the Cubs hitting with they have Contreras still. Their hitting is not terrible. They just need to work on
the question is their
defense. Their defense is just not good.
Yeah. The Twins, however, I think the Twins are going to come back big. I think the Twins are going to... they might have traded Barrios. They might have traded Cruz. But, they have so much talent. Kenta Maeda might be hurt for a little while. Michael Pineda is going to be good. And not to mention, they have already put in offers for Stroman. Eduardo Rodriguez is very likely to go there. And if you can add Stroman and Eduardo Rodriguez to a rotation, I think is already above average. That's bound for success.
Yeah, but to be fair,
the Twins are going to come back, definitely.
But no, to be fair,
not definitely. There's definitely
it depends on what happens.
They also got Simon Woods Richardson and Martin. I think was his name. I don't know, the other guy in the trade to the Blue Jays for Barrios, and those guys could be big in a couple of years. Not yet.
Yeah.
Woods Richardson's supposed to come up soon.
Everybody was saying at the beginning of the year, this year, that they were going to be good, and
and they crashed and they sold, but they're ready to come back. They are ready.
I think maybe wait a year because they just sold. They're just waiting for those prospects to develop. I think maybe they might come back a little bit this year, but I think next year might really be the year for them.
I think it's this
year.
Yeah, I think it's this year.
I think they're going to come back this
and time's up. We're doing a good job of staying on time. But anyways, now this is interesting. Where will Robbie Ray and Marcus Semien go? Aiden, you start.
I don't really know about Semien because he's a very good player. I think a lot of teams are going to go for him. In my opinion, I think that Robbie Ray is staying in the AL East, maybe with the Blue Jays, but he might go somewhere else.
I think
for Semien, I really want to say that he's going to go to the Cardinals, and that's what I was saying.
No, he's not.
But of course,
He's
the
not.
Cardinals just said that we're not prioritizing shortstop, and I don't even know why they said that.
He's not.
Because there's
He's
so
not
many
going to the
options.
Cardinals. I think Ray is definitely going back to the Blue Jays. He's a Cy Young. I think he should be the winner. And the point, they're going to do everything they can, and he's not going to go for all that much. And Simeon, this is a less popular opinion. A lot of people think Ray, but I think Simeon's going back too. Simeon, I really like. I think Simeon, if you check out my other video on Marcus Simeon, he is the most underestimated shortstop this offseason.
He's so underrated.
He's very underrated.
If you look at his numbers, it's absolutely insane what he's doing, and it's for such,
And the Blue Jays, I've noticed him quietly putting up those numbers, and he's quietly become one of the best players, and no one's even really realized it.
Yeah, and I think the Blue Jays might quietly try to keep him there.
And I think they will. I think they will succeed. He's not going to go for as much as Seager, because Seager is ridiculous. He's not even putting up near the numbers.
I think the Dodgers might. Wait, who has Seager right now?
Dodgers, but he's a free agent. He'll probably go to the Yanks.
I think they should get rid of him. I think they should get rid of him and try to get somebody else.
No.
Maybe a pitching
And
guy.
I don't
think so. Their team is really good right now, except they need third base.
Yeah, but Seager, he really
They can afford to just get Ray, Simeon back, and then pick up a decent guy at third base. His time's running low, but that would be a fine free agency for them. If they could afford it, and it would be good. And time's up. Time's up. And now, Castillo trade or not?
Ooh, Castillo. Oh, this is one I don't know that much about.
Yeah, I don't either. He plays Reds, right?
Mm-hmm. He is the Reds. The Reds are not doing well right now. The Reds have a lot of problems, and I think he's going to go somewhere else because I don't think he really wants to be on a crashing team.
Not only that, he is an outstanding player, right? And you can kind of tell he's totally
he put up a 150 or not 150, 2 something ERA the second half of the year. He was outstanding. He got off to a bad start, so his numbers didn't finish off that well. But I think
the Reds. You got to think about the fans, right? The Reds fan base is just tiny right now.
Yeah,
no one goes to the games. Someone like Luis Castillo, I would almost obviously feed off of fans.
Crash. You could literally trade Castillo for another guy. Their rotation fine. They got Gray. Actually, it's not. That's about it. I don't know why. I don't know why they put up Wade Miley onto waivers. That was not a good idea. I mean, I think that was stupid.
I think Reds are going on a really steep downhill. They're going to go on a
the Reds are losing. They have lost Wade Miley.
The Reds were coming up and they now they're just crashing.
Yeah,
this year they were coming up and they were like, okay, this is it. We're cashing out. They really went for some guys. They really tried.
But it never landed. It never landed. And now Castellanos is gone. And
then when you really go for it, try to get a good year, cash out. And it really doesn't go well, then that's when that's putting a lot of money in betting, and then you just lose it all. That's when you really are gonna. The more you cash out, that's the more you're gonna lose.
Yeah,
absolutely. And the Reds really went for it, and now they're gonna lose big. And I think they're gonna start to have to rebuild. And I think Castillo is gonna evolve that. All right.
And now next up, we got what prospects will make an early difference, and. You got to wonder the big question. Wander Franco. What is he going to do? Wander Franco. He played 50 games, but he was outstanding. I like Wander Franco. He looks so good so far. And
the long term for him looks really good.
It's the fact that he just came up and hit, and was hitting over, what was it, 300, 20 homers in his first 50 games. Not many players have done that. He's got the record for longest on base streak for, is it a rookie or ever? I think it's just a rookie, but still.
Yeah, rookie.
Still.
Yeah. And the prospects, the Cardinals have guys that are going to come up and help them. The Mackenzie Gore, he's a big question mark. Mackenzie Gore is has had so many problems, and he is not in a good year. But if he can bounce back, then he can help out a Padres team. The Padres have so much young talent coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a lot of young talent, but for some reason it's not working out.
Yeah, all
Like,
the
who they
guys.
have? They got
Abrams spent the
Tatis,
whole
they've
year
got
hurt.
Melanson.
Gore crashed. The Padres, those guys are going to be big helpers or hurt. And
Yeah,
the Rays,
Frazier also crashed.
prospects are going to take them from a great team to a historic team. The Rays have so many prospects.
The Rays farm system is so good.
Yeah, and they're already
Yeah.
they were already the best team in the American League, and with their prospects they have, I mean they're just about capped out on money, but
Yeah.
They're always capped out on money.
But that
time
doesn't seem to affect them.
Time's up. And now the last segment. Can Bellinger bounce back?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think maybe he'll start off bouncing back. I don't think he'll ever be the MVP player that he was again.
Well, we saw Cody totally. Belly looked great in the offseason. Or in the postseason. He was awesome against the Cardinals. And Bellinger is going to be a big factor. Bellinger, I think, could get back to that MVP. I don't think he will, but he has just been too good before to just ignore. He and Yelich both are going to bounce back years. That's what I'm talking.
I think he's going to start the season kind of slow, and then, I don't know, halfway to the All-Star break, he's just going to be like, well, I'm Cody Bellinger, how is this happening? And he's just going to, turn it on, and he's going to, totally just propel his team.
I think Bellinger's a lot of head case in it as well.
He's shown too much talent to not make something happen.
Exactly. Yeah. I think
even in this year, where it's, a historically bad year for even a bad player, this is an awful year. He hit, under 200? Yeah, 160 with how many home runs?
Well, I don't know, 6 or 7. I don't
know. 6 or 7 home runs?
Maybe more.
And after a year where he hit 39 something home runs,
MVP,
batting 300, he can't be this bad anymore. It's not.
Yeah. It's gonna come down to his mental, whether he thinks he's doing.
I fully agree. I think he is a big mental case because he just isn't fully with it, I don't think he was fully with it. I think he was kind of hurt all year. He had a lot of injury issues. And he just...
Honestly, let's be real. It's just going to come down to how high he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
You guys already know. When he was the highest player in baseball, he was absolutely raking.
Yeah.
So really, I just think he needs to...
And the
He's a very momentous player.
So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching the podcast. There'll be another one probably coming up in the next couple days. And like and subscribe. And, yeah.